Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Freelance Friday podcast. I know today's episode looks a little bit different if you're watching on YouTube. That is because I'm filming this in real time, a couple days before it's going live, because I have something really exciting to tell you. And throughout this episode, I'm going to be talking about whether or not you need a degree to become a social media manager, because that's something I hear a lot. Actually, let's just start with that. My answer, do you need a degree? Do you need to go to college? Do you need a special kind of training to become a social media manager? The answer to that is really, it depends. I'm going to be honest with you. It does depend on what you want to do. When I got my first job as a social media manager in corporate, the corporate world, the job did ask for a 4-year college degree. I was working at a Fortune 500 company. It was an automotive company. It was very corporate, very traditional, if you will. And so I did need that degree. Now, I will say over the years, this was 7 years ago when I got that job, and it actually wasn't a social media manager job, it was a marketing job, but that was a stepping stone and it got me to the social media manager point. I will say now, 7 years later, I'm seeing more leniency with that. I am seeing a lot more jobs that say college degree preferred, or communications degree preferred, marketing degree preferred, something like that. But I do see a lot more jobs are accepting experience in exchange or instead of just having a degree. Now, as far as being a business owner, being a freelancer, which is I'm sure why a lot of you are here, although I do know some corporate folks do watch. If you're looking to own your own business, I'll tell you what, I don't think I've had a single client ever ask me, what'd you go to school for? Or, do you have a degree? Do you have a bachelor's degree, master's degree, associate's degree? I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. Now, do I think it's helped me? Yes. But do I think it's absolutely necessary? No. So it really does depend on what you want to do. And I think if you aren't going to go to college, if you aren't going to go to school and get that traditional education, you have to supplement your education somehow. You have to invest in your education somehow. And the reason for that is because this space is so big. Being a social media manager, that is a big job. I mean, it's getting more and more important as the years go on, and you have to take it seriously. And I think unless you are like the most, I don't know how you would get like hands-on experience for every single platform, for every single type of industry, for every single type of company. So you do have to have some kind of an education. Now, what I did, I have said this many times, I do have a 4-year degree. I went to school for both film and political science. Long story about what I used to want to work in the news, basically, is what I wanted to do. So I didn't really have marketing experience. I had video training, which I do use with my clients all the time to create content for them. So I do find that very helpful. And even things like political science, I know how to research really well. I know how to write really well. I had to write like 20, 30-page papers basically weekly, I have that kind of cultural competency. I understand what not to post when a crisis is going on. So definitely I have found things in my degree that have been really helpful, but I didn't know the marketing side of things. Like I didn't know, I didn't know anything about sales funnels and marketing strategies and stuff like that. So I took a lot of free courses. When I was first starting, I took HubSpot Academy, like every course they offered on content marketing, email marketing. That was super helpful. And then as my business grew and as my career kind of grew, I would take, higher level courses. I started investing in coaches and mentors and group programs and things like that. So that's my long story short answer. I'm going to talk more about this, but I want to share an announcement first, which is that my group program, the Social Media Management Accelerator, is back and it is available right now. Just to clarify, this is a group course which actually starts on September 13th, but you can secure your spot now. It has been a long time coming. We've done a lot of iterations for the program. And if you're new here, I'll tell you exactly what it's all about, why I decided to create it. And I'm actually going to let some of my, or I'm not going to let, I'm very grateful for my students for joining me on today's podcast. They're going to tell you in their own words some of the things that they learned and why this is a program that they are happy they invested in. So the Social Media Management Accelerator was truly my answer to this question. I got this question so so many times, and I heard from so many of you who just couldn't afford college or didn't know if they wanted to get themselves $30,000, $40,000 in debt to go to school. And I totally understand that. I was very fortunate in that I had a scholarship to college. If I didn't, I don't know that I would have a 4-year degree, full transparency. And so I heard from so many of you all. And I also frankly, I saw the quality of work that I was getting when I would hire for my agency, when I would hire social media managers, account managers, content creators. I wasn't seeing, I'm going to be honest, like I was seeing a lot of poor quality work, if I'm being totally honest. And I was like, I think there's a disconnect. I think there's a big missed opportunity. There's a big gap in the market for training specifically about social media strategy aimed at social media managers. Because what I was seeing a lot of in the course world was a lot of content on how to start a business, how to sell your social media packages, how to scale your agency. But I wasn't seeing a lot on like how to learn social media copywriting, how to diffuse a bad customer service situation on social media, how to create graphics that actually use graphic design theory in your posts and aren't just like a Canva template. I wasn't seeing a lot of that. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I wasn't seeing a lot of that. And in addition to that, what I loved about school, what I loved about going to school was, of course, some of those actual things that I told you about: video editing, writing big papers, reading boring political journals. That all does help me, I would say, in my professional life. But some of the biggest things were, number one, getting over my sort of fear of putting myself out there, getting comfortable talking to a large group of people, getting comfortable presenting my ideas to people and things like that, networking, meeting people. I'm very naturally shy and introverted and have kind of a lot of social anxiety. And so that was something that college really helped me with. Also, I would say discipline, just knowing that I had to submit assignments, even if I thought they were stupid, knowing that I needed to just submit those assignments to get that dang piece of paper, that dang degree, so that I can move on with my life. And that's exactly what the Social Media Management Accelerator is meant to do. Now, I want to be very clear that this is not a university class. This is not like going to get you college credit. It is not a replacement for college. So if you are in college, this is a great supplement to it. I actually had some students last session who were in university or college or school, whatever it is that you want to call it, who were taking this on the side or had just graduated and were taking this as they were looking for their first full-time job or as they were looking to start their business. But I really did try to model it after, as best as I could, a classroom setting, a traditional classroom setting, because I think that is really missing.
Hashtags, how many hashtags should you use, or a marketing strategy on social media? We never had that like hands-on experience even in uni classes. We talked about like social media marketing and like you need to do it, but not how you can do it. So it was very insightful.
So in the Social Media Management Accelerator, of course, I tackled those more tangible things. We have lessons on everything from graphic design to copywriting to social media strategy. We have some guest instructors this time around, which we didn't have last time. I'm super excited. They're going to teach us about Google Analytics, TikTok, Reels, and social media management mindset and getting in the right, headspace to take in this information and also be confident and use that with your clients. And then we also do tackle those other two things that I mentioned to you, sort of getting over that maybe fear of putting yourself out there, and also the discipline. I'll talk about the discipline first. I mean, we have assignments every other week, and we also have a big kind of capstone at the end where you submit a portfolio. We work with a series of mock brands that we've created, and you are going to be creating content for these mock brands. You're going to be putting together a portfolio for these mock brands and submitting that to me at the end of the class, which is really great. You'll get feedback on your portfolio so you know how to improve when you go ahead and use this portfolio, showcase examples of your work with potential clients. So that's really fun. But like I said, you'll also have some kind of challenges in between, as well as some assignments, quizzes, things like that. I really do find this to be very, very important, again, for people who are maybe self-taught or, haven't necessarily worked with a real client yet, because you do have to adhere to deadlines. Like, that's one of the reasons why my business was successful, because I got my clients what I said I was going to get them when I said I was going to get it to them. Plain and simple. Being able to have that self-discipline and say, you know what, I know it's 8 p.m., but I got to hustle and just get this assignment into Latasha's course so I can get my certificate at the end. Building up those muscles is super important to being either a business owner or getting a job as a social media manager in the corporate setting.
I know it doesn't exist perfect, but it was the almost perfect methodology on this course. Yes, the assignment, and for my personality, I need to be held accountable. And I loved that part that, yeah, it was a due date and I needed to have a completion with my assignment.
Now, the other piece of it is that kind of putting yourself out there, community, networking, all of that. And this is something I'm really, really proud of about the Social Media Management Accelerator. We have a lot of different opportunities to really conquer that fear. Now, I will say that you can be kind of as involved or as not involved as you want to be. You certainly do not have to be doing all of these networking and sort of all eyes on me type activities if you don't want to. But if you really want to make the most out of the program, I would recommend it. We have a few different opportunities for you. First is the mastermind groups. So how the majority of the accelerator goes is we get on a Zoom call together, a Zoom webinar 2 to 3 times per week. And I'm actually teaching a lecture. So I have slides. I'll show you all, hey, here's what the rule of thirds is. Here's how to write a good hook for social media. Here is the guest instructor that's going to talk about reels today, and so on and so forth. But we also have a couple times throughout the duration of the course, we have some mastermind opportunities where you'll be assigned a group of people who you meet with in a smaller group. And that will be a sort of face-to-face Zoom meeting where you all get on camera and just kind of talk about what's going on in class. You can cover any questions that you have from class. You can also talk about your businesses or your career goals and get that peer-to-peer support. Peer-to-peer support has been so valuable to me over the years as I've built my business. I still am a part of both a paid mastermind that I pay thousands of dollars for. It's quite expensive, but I keep paying for it because it's very worth it. And I'm also a part of a free accountability group that I just joined with some other business owners that I knew from Twitter. And I invest in both of those, both in terms of time and money, because they really help so much. So we heard from so many of our students that they loved the masterminds and they still meet with these people and that they've met some, lifelong friends from these groups. And I'm really proud of that.
I also loved the small group masterminds. Like that was great. And I actually was a leader for one of them. So that was really amazing on my part to help me create my leadership skills. It put me into a space where I felt confident as a leader, which definitely before the accelerator, it's like, I would never lead a mastermind group. But now I'm like, oh, I'm okay with leading it monthly and making this a thing and having these connections with the amazing girls that I met.
So that's one opportunity, but then you also get the opportunity to do what is really fun and was probably my favorite part of the whole course. It's called a pitch competition, and it's basically exactly what it sounds like. It's like a Shark Tank style, pitch competition that again, we do over Zoom. I'm going to try really hard this time to figure out how I can broadcast it on YouTube just to get my students a little bit more exposure in front of my YouTube audience and also for the YouTube viewers who watch, who aren't going to be a part of the program. So you can kind of see what goes on in class because it was just so fun. But you'll present, you'll pitch, and we have some real life prizes. We actually gave away, I think it was over $1,200 worth of prizes last time, which was like amazing. And, even of course, for the people who didn't win anything, that's not the point of it. The point is to really help you conquer those fears and get comfortable presenting in front of people. When I was in college in my film class, my film degree, I had to get really used to this really quick because what we would do is for every assignment that we would have, if I was in like a nonfiction class and I had to put together a news segment, we would then pop that into the TV in class, sit around and have a viewing day, and everybody would watch it and then critique it. Every single class we had to do that. And it was scary, but it made me so much stronger seriously. And it's so important. I use that to this day when a client gives me feedback. I know how to take feedback. I don't take it personally. I know how to see things from their perspective. I know how to even respond to feedback that I don't agree with. Like, having that ability to do that is super important. So I'm really excited to have that be a part of the accelerator. We did a round of interviews at the end of the last accelerator course. We put a lot of time and effort into this, and big thank you to Megan, my operations manager, who conducted these interviews and really got the ball rolling on this. It was really important for me to hear the good, the bad, the ugly from my students, because I wanted to make the next round even better. And I want to continue doing that every single time, making it better and better. And I'm really proud to say that we had a 96% net promoter score, which means that 96% of the people who responded to the survey recommended the course, are, happy that they made the investment in it, thought it was worth their investment, and so on. So I'm really proud of that number. I was shooting for like a 90% or better, and 96% is huge. So in addition to giving them that survey, we also got on calls with them and just asked them for their feedback, asked them what they loved, what they didn't like so much. We took all of their constructive feedback and addressed it, and added to the course for this round. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that they said.
During this class was probably where I had the most growth in my business, because it was just something to look forward to every week and a reason to keep doing things, because I had people that were holding me accountable.
Mm-hmm. I really wanted to feel confident in my knowledge, and I feel like walking away from the course, I did feel really confident, like, okay, like I can do this.
You can go out, you might be able to Google and piecemeal a strategy together and figure out how to do it. But this course is going to tell you how to find your client personas, how to impress your clients, and how to actually create results for them that they like. That's going to keep you not just having like a side hustle for a little while, but you can actually build a sustainable career, whether you choose to do it on your own for your own business or go and get a job as a social media manager.
Okay, so that's it. That's the answer. Do you need a college degree to be a social media manager? Just to recap, the answer is it depends, not necessarily, but it doesn't hurt. If you don't get one though, it is important to invest in your education. And I would love it if you considered the Social Media Management Accelerator as one of those options. There are, of course, a bunch of great free resources. I want to be clear about that. I love HubSpot Academy. I love Facebook Blueprint. I've taken a ton of like free and very low cost courses in the past. That's a great place to start. But if you're in a place where you are ready to get rolling, you are ready to have that tangible portfolio that you can share with prospective clients or jobs in the future, if you're looking for a mentor that you can really keep in touch with and lean on, yes, this is a group program, but I do have communication with all of you throughout the class. I've written LinkedIn endorsements for students. I've referred clients to students of the course. So if you want those relationships, if you want those relationships with other peers, other people in your industry that you can ask questions to when something comes up, or if you want to go on vacation and you want to subcontract your workout for the week, like these things are all super important. So if you're ready for that actionable stuff, I think the accelerator is going to be a really good fit for you. If you're still in the early stages, that's totally okay. You want to do self-paced stuff, free stuff, totally get that. We will hopefully be running this course a few times a year moving forward. So maybe I'll catch you in the next one. All right, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode, and I will talk to you next week for a new YouTube video and next Friday for a new podcast, and hope to see you in the accelerator. The link will be the first one down in the description box on YouTube, and it'll also be listed in the show notes on the podcasting platforms. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.